officially ready to begin our Transform Westside Summit, so welcome. I'm John Ahmann. I'm President and CEO of the Westside Future Fund. Thanks for coming through this chilly morning and joining us here this morning. I want to remind all of us as we get going, especially those that are new so that they're aware, that we are broadcasting live. So right now you'll see 3 cameras around the room, so we're live up on Facebook and YouTube. And I'm excited this morning to be joined by our Chief Development Officer with the Westside Future Fund, John Ingram.
Oh, yo.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Really excited to be here, whether you are here in person at the gathering spot or virtual watching our Transform Westside Summit today. We really thank you for your time and your dedication and support of this work. It's important work, and we believe in it, and we're really excited for you to be a part of it. We're excited to get started today and really have a really engaging and meaningful conversation.
Yeah, thank you. And before I get started, I want to appreciate that the Westside Future Fund is a not-for-profit that is overwhelmingly dependent upon contributions. And we are very grateful this morning that helping enable the summit this morning is Delta Community Credit Union, who is sponsoring this summit. So they have contributed the cost to cover the cost of this summit this morning. So we appreciate Delta Community Credit Union. Of course, Chick-fil-A, as always, is donating the breakfast this morning. So thank you to our supporters. And one of the things that we're also excited about, I'm personally excited about, I live in Vine City on the last street that Dr. King called home with his family before he was assassinated. And we have a great Martin Luther King holiday celebration coming up in remembrance of what he called us to do, which is to serve the other, that we have a great MLK Day. So raise your hand, and I know some here, if you're participating in an MLK Day activity on Monday. Just all right, thank you for getting out there. And I think that the Dr. King quote, we can kind of all be equal because we can all serve. So thank you. So I want to go over quickly the run of show for this morning. And especially I'd like to start by welcoming anyone who is here for the first time at a Transform Westside Summit. If you would please raise your hand so we can just first welcome you this morning. So thank you. One thing that is different about today's summit is that I'm going to leave early. So I typically, as the host, am very intentional about staying until the end. But this morning, and Gavin and Grove Park Foundation are part of this, many of you may have read that the mayor has a big push, the Neighborhood Reinvestment Initiative. And the mayor has identified with his team 7 kind of priority areas of our city that are clearly have been disinvested in for many decades for a lot of the wrong reasons. And so they have a push to put more resources, public resources, private resources, into these areas. A big tool for that is renewing the tax allocation districts. So the Westside Future Fund is a part of it, the Grove Park Foundation, West Howe Foundation, Campbellton Road, Thomasville Heights, downtown and others. But as part of that evaluation of the renewing of the TADs, the City Council put together a commission. And that commission is meeting over the next 3 months to get some recommendations back, because the city, each jurisdiction, the city, the Atlanta Public School Board, and the Fulton County Commission would all have to agree to extend the TADs. It's not just something the city can do without its local government partners. And so I'm very fortunate to be serving on that commission. It's having its first meeting at 8:30. So that's what I'm leaving to do, and I want to just apologize. I feel bad about that, but I wanted to make sure I welcome Gavin this morning. When we, as always, and especially for those who are new, it's such a grounding of our summit is our devotion. And John will bring up our devotion speaker. Unfortunately, I won't be able to hear it, but it'll be led by Derrick Green, Project Director and Instructor at Morehouse School of Medicine, and CEO of Historic Hills Community Development. So thank you for leading our devotion this morning. And after the devotion, we'll be doing self-introductions. We've got another big crowd this morning, as we did at the end of the year. So rather than do every person, we're going to do a little bit of time for fellowship, just to make sure we can stick to our program time. And then I know it's a exciting topic, looking at World Cup ready, positioning Westside businesses to win, exploring how businesses compare for the upcoming opportunities and long-term growth that Gavin's going to moderate. So thank you for putting that program together. Clearly, it's one folks want to hear. And then, and I know we'll have a little bit of time for audience questions.
So obviously you guys get to hang
or did you graduate from historic Booker T. Washington High School or one of the historic HBCUs? If you hit one of those criteria, you are eligible. And our product is also subsidized to help them make it affordable depending on your level of income. So we're very proud of the program. Tamika does a great job. Raise your hand, Tamika. And what I'm going to do really quickly, because we are bringing, we've moved now, I think, over 60 families, single-family home families, along with rental into the neighborhoods, is show you some of our product coming up, because either we would love for you to get interested or you to know to somebody. Because what was really important is once we get something done, we love to put someone into the home. So we have, first, 812 North Avenue, thank you. We can go to the next one. Yeah, 565 English Avenue. Next one. 549, I should say. When you look at the sales price, we set the sales price just to basically break even. But depending on your level of income, we offer down payment assistance. It typically averages $50,000. So the price that a homeowner actually pays is less than what you see. So someone qualifies for a mortgage, we layer down payment assistance also from Invest Atlanta Housing to make the home more affordable. There, you can see the ranges of awards right there. And I think, was that the last?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, great. And we also, and we're also excited this morning, we're leading a ribbon cutting of a new multifamily on Joseph E. Boone, 839. We're also celebrating 646 Echo. And again, back to renters that hit those community retention guidelines. And as I started this morning, we are so grateful for all our many, many charitable contributions that make all of this possible.
Yeah, and always remember, we always like to emphasize at our Transform Westside Summits, our hope and our aspiration for you to engage with us through our socials, our Instagram, our X, formerly known as Twitter, and Facebook. So if you're watching online on YouTube, please make sure that you share, that you like, that you subscribe, you do all those things, and make sure that more people know about the work that we're doing. Of course, as well, don't forget your Home Depot and Goodwill raffle ticket that you should have received at registration. If you didn't, run up there, go grab one, because at the end of the Transform Westside Summit, we will draw the winning tickets. So it's always a great donation and support that we receive from the Goodwill and the Home Depot. So, of course, our time for devotion, it's become our tradition to begin our meetings with a positive and inspirational message from a member of our community. Recognizing that many in our community are driven by their spiritual faith to participate in the Westside revitalization effort, the time at the beginning of our meetings is an opportunity to share various inspirational reflections. While the speakers may articulate their own personal faith, it is meant to be inclusive, inspiring, and meaningful, with the story of Nehemiah as our guide. To open our time together, we're really grateful to our guest, Derrick Green, to have him lead our devotion, who, as you heard from John earlier, Derrick is a respected leader working in that intersection of faith, community, and action on Atlanta's West Side. Derrick serves as project director and instructor at Morehouse School of Medicine, where he leads community-centered health initiatives focused on improving outcomes for underserved communities and families, work that deeply aligns with the work that we do at Westside Future Fund. He's also the CEO of Historic Hills Community Development Corporation, advancing neighborhood revitalization, affordable housing, and resident-driven economic growth right here in our community. Beyond his personal professional roles, Derrick is a trusted civic leader, currently serving as the chair of NPU-J, and brings a grounded, thoughtful, and perspective that we are honored to have be a part of this day. So please join me in welcoming Derrick to the stage for our devotion.
Good morning. So in addition to some of that, I'm also a fifth generation Atlantan and a graduate of Morehouse College. So I'm my classmate over there, Gavin. So thank you all for having me here. I also want to thank the Westside Future Fund and the Grow Apart Foundation for setting this up and allowing us to meet this morning and to put this program on. So since it's January, I thought, let's talk about, kind of review the story of Nehemiah and relate it to community building or building the beloved community. As some of you know the story, some of you don't. But Nehemiah basically rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem after years of destruction and disrepair due to war and just general neglect. So here we are back on the west side. And I moved back about 7 years ago. And so the first thing you have to do, just like Nehemiah, it's like, hey, we got to do an assessment. Why are we moving to the west side? What do we need to do? But in the story of Nehemiah, he didn't get caught up in a whole bunch of, surveys and demographic studies. And it was like, hey, the wall's broke. We got to fix it. So the first thing he did, he went, inspected the wall. And immediately after inspecting the wall in the story, the naysayers, the haters showed up. I mean, immediately. And these suckers never left the whole time. They never left, even pretty much after the wall was finished. In other words, when you talk about opposition and resistance, they never leave. It is a feature and not a bug. Okay? So the first thing is you're going to have opposition in this work. When we move on, Nehemiah moves on, he puts the call out, and the workers come. What does that look like? It looks like a Gavin McGuire. It looks like my girl Karen over here, Casey in the back, Janae over here, Samantha. You don't know who the workers are. They name them, but the call went out first. Do the work. Do the work. The workers will come. Then the work gets done in 52 days. 52 days. I'm 52 years old. Wow. Okay. 52 days. And in 52 days, the people starts coming back. The people start to come back. You do the work, and the people will come. And when the people came back, not only did they come back, they came back, and then they began to, of course, restore community. And in restoring community leadership, those who at work, those who had, in this case, Nehemiah, was a leader, appointed leader, they had mercy and gifts and equity amongst the people. When people did not have something, they gave them the things needed to be successful within the context of a community. We have to help people. We're here to help those who are here and those who decide to come here. And so finally, as you restore community, as you do this work, understand, even at the end, they're going to be the naysayers. They're going to be the haters. They're going to be the people that say that community cannot be restored. And we who've made the decision to serve, to love, to help, to hope, we have to stand strong and stand with community. So I just wanted to do a short prayer, and I'll be out. Thank you for the day. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for the people that are here. Thank you for the people that were unable to be here that are listening in. Thank you for restoration. Thank you for peace. Thank you for those who are here to speak. And Lord, thank you for those who are here to serve. Continue to bless them. Continue to cover them. Continue to assist us in building a beloved community. Amen. Thank you all. You have a great day.
Thank you so much, Derrick, for your time. I really resonated with what Derrick said about when you do the work, people will come. People will be moved by that work. They'll be moved by that action, and they will move alongside you as you continue that work for the community. So I hope that that resonates with you as we go forward and as we hear more today about our program, but more importantly, as we continue to do this work. So of course, one of our favorite things that we do at these Transform Westside Summits is a sense of community that develops through our time together in this room. Real relationships and opportunities develop out of these conversations. And I hope that you spend that time when available to build those relationships. Of course, as you know, normally we'd spend that time going person by person, passing the microphone and having you introduce yourself. But, you know, Gavin and the rest of the team brought an incredible program and y'all showed up for it. So we want to make sure that we're respectful to that time, but also to your time. So what we'd like to do is take 5 minutes, have you converse with the people around you, introduce yourself, learn about what inspires them about this work, about what inspires them about Atlanta, and how you guys could collaborate together. So let's spend this next 5 minutes and just really get to know each other and be moved by the work that we have ahead of us. So let's go for 5 minutes.
Everyone, please take your seats. Our program is about to resume. Please take your seats. Our program is about to resume. Please take your seats. Our program is about to resume. Go ahead, bring the music all the way down. Please take your seats. Our program is about to resume.
All right, all right, all right. Let's take our seats. All right. I see so many smiling faces. I know everybody's having a good time, but let's make our way to our seats so we can keep this program going in a timely manner. You guys are doing so great. I hate to be the one interrupting new friendships and all these smiling faces. Let's make our way to our seats. Awesome, thank you guys so much. Did you meet somebody cool? I'm gonna try that again. Did y'all meet somebody cool? I love it, I love it. I hope you were inspired by the community and fellowship to help us continue to do this work and be inspired to move together. So I really appreciate you guys leaning into those moments when we're able to develop relationships. Of course, what we're all here today for our program, it's my pleasure, it's our pleasure to introduce Gavin McGuire, Executive Director of the Grove Park Foundation and today's moderator for our program. You know, at Westside Future Fund, we feel deeply grateful for our partnership with the Grove Park Foundation and the spirit that Atlanta is. Our organizations serve adjacent neighborhoods, as we know, of course, and shared hopes. And we greatly value the way Gavin and the Grove Park Foundation lead intentionally and with partnering intentionally and always centering the first. Leadership to his work after his 9th Ward from Morehouse College, and investment. Community-centered institutions, of course, like Grove Park, Family YMCA, Usher's New Look Foundation, clubs, where he helped drive meaningful growth and impact before returning home to Atlanta. So please join me in welcoming Gavin McGuire to the stage to moderate our program.
Good morning to everyone. My mom always told me that when you're in good moments that you always start with gratefulness and gratitude. So I'd like to say thanks to the Westside Future Fund. John's out, but always been a good supporter, adjacent to us and great partner, great neighbor. Rachel on his team as it relates to real estate and housing has been a great support and working with myself and my team and the Grove Park community. And then so grateful for Sonia, chief of staff on the team, and just the quiet giant, just such a professional and such a great servant leader. Would also like to thank any of our Grove Park partners that's in the room. Grove Park residents, can the Grove Park residents, can y'all stand? The Grove and partners, nonprofit leaders, faith-based leaders in Grove Park, can y'all stand? To our board of directors, I have some board members that I see in the room who are not just on governance and not just giving great money, but they're entrenched in the community. I see Joel and Janita, a few others. So to our Grove Park board members, I want to give my gratitude. And last, but certainly not least, to the Grove Park Foundation team. I get a chance to get my name called in every room and in every place, but I'm grateful for my team. So can the Grove Park Foundation team stand to be recognized? You hear a thing called World Cup, and everybody's excited about what's coming. And we also have, the part of the Grove Park team, a World Cup ready team. So can that World Cup ready team stand to be recognized? and an intersection of our work. And I didn't come from a history of preachers, but I'm doing something that I know in the church, when you're calling names, you're going to forget people. So please charge it to my head and not my heart. But also, when we talk about this intersection of our work with businesses, and we're highlighting the World Cup Ready team, the Northwest Business Association team, who's the glue and the fabric for the work that we do with business within the community. Can y'all please stand to be recognized, that team? And to all the other soldiers toiling in the vineyard to make Grove Park and make the West Side a great place, I honor you today. So with Grove Park, we were established in 2017, and simple and plain, we create the conditions for our businesses, our residents, and for our communities to thrive, working in collaboration with great partners within the community. The first iteration of our work was really focusing on education and focusing on youth and children. And so we built the YMCA Early Learning Center, a Whiteford Clinic next to that for health and wellness, as well as partnering with APS to build KIPP Woodson Park Academy, a K-8 imprint within our community. And to those leaders, if you have kids there, or if you know any of the leaders, recently off the state's needs improvements list. So really excited about the work that they're doing there. We also serve the Douglas cluster. So, you know, within our community, within that strand, we want to make sure that everyone has a chance to be great and thrive within the community. During that first phase, we also built 110 units of affordable housing. So the canopy at Grove Park was one of those projects. And as we move into the current phase of our work, we're refurbishing a theater, the Grove Park Theater, and we're also building a corner market that will bring a bank back into Grove Park for the first time since 2012. And so also working on a small grocery imprint and a few other things. But as we talk about the brick and mortar pieces and we talk about the things of buildings, we also thought in listening to the community, it's also important to make sure that we empower and we build people. So that's where we are today with World Cup Ready. And one of the things that I wanted to say before I introduce the amazing panelists and show you a great video that will explain that work in more detail and just our aspirations. Today is an intersection, and this work is an intersection of personal and professional meeting each other. In February 5th of 2022, I had the unfortunate experience of losing my son. My son was a huge entrepreneur. The last time that I physically saw my son, I was at a football game. They already messed it up in my bio and said I was from New Orleans, so I'm glad I didn't get booze. But I was with my son at a Saints-Falcons game. Y'all won, so don't boo me. But I was at the game the last time I saw him in the suite. He was talking to business leaders, and my son had a courier business, and his tagline was the worst tagline in the world. He said his tagline was to bring and get FedEx out of business. So if anybody works for FedEx, I'm sorry. He had a tough experience in college where FedEx gave him a pink slip, and it wasn't to say Merry New Year's or Happy Christmas. It wasn't that. but so that was his business model. He wanted to make them get out of business. But the personal piece for me is, as I look at our businesses and our entrepreneurs in the room, I'm always excited because y'all are the dreamers. Everybody has something on the back of a napkin that you have that idea, or in that notepad, or in that remarkable on the iPad. But the entrepreneurs in the business in this room who inspired me, you activated. You had the courage to step out. And so simple and plain, for World Cup Ready and for today, this is not a meeting. This is not a panel. This is an activation, and this is an opportunity for us. 30 years from 1996 is when I graduated from Morehouse, and the Olympics, the house. This is a good opportunity. So it's not just a movement and flash, but this is an opportunity for us to continue to support those dreamers, to get the access, the awareness, and opportunity. And then I'll leave you with this with my son. He used to always say, "Hey, Dad, I'm just as good as FedEx or UPS. I don't need a handout. I don't need charity. I just need an opportunity. I just need a chance. And that's what our businesses and the people that you're going to see today in this room, this is what you're going to hear with World Cup Ready and beyond. They just need a chance. They're just as great and just as bright as the Fortune 500 companies. So we got a chance to do something special, to learn from the lessons of the Olympics in '96, where some of people on our team weren't even born yet, but also, being a chance to do great. So if you don't mind, I want to welcome up these great panelists, but I'll show you a video to set the tone and the frame of what we do. So I'll introduce the panelists and then bring them up. We'll see a video and we'll get going, y'all. So first I'd like to bring up Eric Fears. He's our Senior Business Director for our work, World Cup Ready guru, and the leader of our movement. Next, I'd like to bring up Ms. Charis Wright. She's the Community Impact Relations Manager for Fifth Third Bank. And last but certainly not least, CEO and founder of CREAIT and one of our World Cup Ready team members, Ms. Ashaela Bowen. So we'll keep talking about this World Cup Ready and what is this. So please indulge us in a short video to get a framework, and it'll be just a guidepost for our conversation today.
There's a story unfolding in Atlanta right now, a big one. It's about a $2 billion question, and the answer, well, it's going to define a generation. $2 billion. Just let that number sink in. That's not just money, it's an economic tidal wave, and it is heading straight for our city with the 2026 World Cup. I mean, we are talking about the single largest economic event this city has ever seen. The whole world is going to be watching, but there's something that nobody's really talking about. You see, every time a major event comes to town, think about it. The Olympics, Super Bowls, the Final Fours, the same thing happens. It's like a script. Big outside companies, they swoop in, they extract all the value, and then they're gone. And our local businesses, they're just left watching from the sidelines. So the question is why? Why does this keep happening? And look, it's not because our local businesses don't want the opportunity. Of course they do. The problem is they just can't access it. The systems we have in place, they just weren't built for them. They're dealing with outdated systems with no real digital infrastructure to compete, no access to even simple AI tools that could help them make smarter, faster decisions. Instead, what do they get? A maze of confusing permits with no clear path to even get in the game. And this really shows you the stark reality of that divide. On one hand, you have the global standard, digital payments, international visibility, AI-powered operations. But on the other, what's the local reality? It's cash registers, it's paper processes. They are completely invisible to tourists. But you know what? Not this time. Okay, this is where everything changes. This is the turn. There's a new playbook for Atlanta, and it's called World Cup Ready. It's an economic development strategy built for one reason, to solve this exact problem. How exactly are they doing it? Well, the first thing you have to understand is that for Atlanta, this is about so much more than just soccer. The core vision here, the big idea, is to use the World Cup as a catalyst. It's this incredible opportunity to unite the city's powerful business community, its vibrant culture, and its cutting-edge innovation sector, all to create a lasting, positive impact that people will feel long after that final whistle blows. Okay, so here's the million-person question. How do you organize an experience for that many people without the entire city just grinding to a halt? It's basically divide and celebrate. They're turning the entire city into the main event with a concept they call 6 zones, 1 city. And this map right here, this shows you the genius part of the plan. Instead of funneling everybody into one massive, chaotic fan fest, they're spreading the party out. They're creating 6 totally distinct cultural entertainment districts all across the city. Each zone becomes its own unique celebration, highlighting the heritage of different nations that are playing in the tournament. But you know, to manage an experience on this kind of scale, you need more than just great ideas. You need a really powerful engine running under the hood. And for Atlanta, that engine is data. They're calling it digital hospitality. Now, the best way to think about it is like a smart nervous system for the entire city. It's this intelligence network that's designed to measure, understand, and then improve the fan experience, all in real time. Every little interaction, whether it's buying a drink or checking into a zone, becomes a piece of data they can actually use. So what's the goal? It's big, but it's clear. Activate 2,000 local businesses. That's 2,000 businesses getting crucial workflow upgrades, getting plugged into AI-powered operations, and getting connected through digital hospitality. But listen, it's not just about the businesses themselves, it's about the ripple effect. Imagine, young people learning new digital skills, families gaining real economic literacy. We're talking about wealth that finally circulates right here in the community. It's about building a city that doesn't just host an opportunity, but actually keeps it.
And look, this isn't just about a 30-day tournament. This is a new model for how a city can truly serve its people. It's a blueprint that's designed to outlast the event. It's infrastructure that will keep compounding year after year.
And that brings us to the final crucial part. Because make no mistake, the clock is ticking. The heroes of this story, they're not some faceless corporations. No, they're the shop owners on Auburn Avenue. They're the food trucks on Cascade. They're the salons, the mechanics, the restaurants, all the dreamers who bet every single thing they have on this city. So, it all leads to this final question. Atlanta isn't just trying to host the World Cup. It is trying to redefine what it means to be a host city. By focusing on data, on being inclusive, and on building a legacy that lasts, they are creating a blueprint that could literally change how these mega events are run forever. And you can bet the world will be watching to see if they can pull it off.
So I hope that gave you a grounding in the framework. And once again, we can't explain it in the few minutes we have left with the panel. And even just want to, for housekeeping, the team and I will be here, after for any key questions, any partners, any insights, et cetera. But I want to start, and as I mentioned in my opening, when we talked about the importance on focusing on people, had a lot of great investors and a lot of great people who put their time, talents, and treasures into the work. And one of the groups, that was pivotal for our work and our Grove Park Ready and getting us here is Fifth Third Bank. And so I have Ms. Charis Wright with us. Let's welcome her again. Hi. And just had a couple of questions to get us going. So the first question is, why was it important for Fifth Third Bank to invest in Grove Park and the West Side with all the great things that y'all have done in the community?
So I'm reminded that one of the things our CEO, Tim Spence, says is when communities thrive, businesses thrive. And at Fifth Third, we put in the work every day to make a difference. So one of the big things was we wanted to lean in and invest in Grove Park and the west side of Atlanta to support the initiative because these neighborhoods have a strong history and legacy. And so by doing that, they already had a foundation of partners and organizations to ensure we have the same mission, that these communities thrive. And so in this, our neighborhood program, we have implemented innovative and strategic place-based strategies to help positive change occur in across our 11-state footprint. And we are just so grateful for the opportunity to partner, and we know one key thing is collaboration. And so by collaborating with Grove Park Foundation as well as Westside Future Fund, we're able to ensure that the change is community driven and truly makes an impact.
And from that work, what are some of the milestones or highlights that you've seen and that we've experienced?
So between Grove Park Ready and World Cup Ready, we've been able to partner with local organizations like Northwest Business Association to ensure that we're meeting with small business owners as well as connecting them with our bankers. We held a Meet the Bankers series, and we've seen incredible progress with these businesses. Through World Cup Ready, it's giving them that exposure to the light that's going to shine on the Atlanta market, as well as throughout the state when World Cup comes. The announcement was made, and Gavin, I feel like this is your brainchild coming to life because you mentioned this, and it has just trailblazed all the way through, and we're happy to power World Cup Ready with you all. And so another thing that we've seen is it's built capacity for these businesses. We've had a small business catalyst fund, which businesses in Grove Park and the West Side were recipients of. It also gave them grants and microloans to help improve their financial management and just provide additional resources, because when communities build their businesses, it just thrives for everyone. And so we're happy to be a part and partner with you all.
No, we appreciate that. And one of the other things when Charis mentioned the Northwest Business Association. Over the last 2 years, they've grown from 5 to 7 members to currently like 62, and I'm 72, and I may be wrong because every day they're adding more. So shout out once again to the Northwest Business Association for their work. And as Derrick said earlier, you know, I work with not only faith-based institutions, community partners, the Grove Park Neighborhood Association, the NPU-J. You know, it's a collaborative effort, as Charis said, so we're grateful there. As I mentioned earlier, too, as the leader, I get a chance to get credit for a lot of things that goes well. I also get a lot of the heat when it doesn't go well. But when she humbly mentioned the brainchild, I have to give credit to our leader to my right, to my left, Eric Fierce, who I'll introduce now for his portion of the panel and the program. But, you know, we sat in a room and we had a Grove Park Ready strategy, and I just sat with them and I said, hey, man, the Olympics was well, but we missed some opportunities. And so in that conversation, in that whiteboarding session, Eric said, hey, I have a plan and I have a team that I would like to partner with you guys on to make sure that we don't miss the opportunity during the World Cup, but we also have work that'll be sustainable beyond the World Cup. So I want to welcome, and once again, and give a chance to bring into this space, Eric Fierce, once again, y'all.
All right. So thank you, Gavin. Thank you to everybody for being here. I mean, if you look around, it's a lot of people in the room, so that means y'all want to be World Cup ready. That's what I know about. It's really simple. I'm a product of the Olympics. I was at Georgia Tech in '94, and so it split me right down the middle. I was able to see the old Georgia Tech to the beginning of the new Georgia Tech. But the interesting thing about it, when I got here early this morning, I actually drove the campus again. I needed to be reminded of the seed that the Olympics planted. Because if you look at it that way, it was a seed. And then I had the fortune, if you read my bio, you'll see a little bit about it, but I traveled the world with Ambassador Young. So I was able to actually understand the psychology of actually bringing the Olympics here. So it was a real cool opportunity that we had, but as a kid, I didn't know anything about it. I was just honestly trying to get to parties, because the parties are real cool. You know, it was a funny story about me leaving the area where the Olympic bombing was, just because me and my boys were chasing girls. And so it happened to take us to Florida and got us on out of there, and then next thing you know, I knew something, you know, a catastrophe had happened. But at the end of the day, that's all it was for me, just participating. But as I saw, and as I matured in business, I got to understand I'm now an international economic developer. I write plans for countries. We're doing the economic strategies for Grove Park, and it's been an honor to serve the community. And it's such an honor that when the Olympics, I mean, when the World Cup was announced, and I played soccer, so I do know about the World Cup, but when it was announced, the first thing I told them, I said, hey, we got to win. We got to win on the West Side, because I saw what happened to Georgia Tech. I saw what happened. Y'all see it every day. And so if you see that, you got to say, what seed can we plant right now? That's what World Cup Ready really is. It's all about taking advantage of the moment. How do we economically equip? How do we increase economic confidence? How do we actually help the businesses truly scale right now? Not tomorrow, but right now. Because then we can see 30 years from now, when the next large-scale event comes again, the West Side will be totally different. But it won't be a difference of displacement. It'll be a difference of inclusion, where the West Siders can actually win and work their way through this. Because like we have tools. You'll see my team. I mean, we honored the World Cup Ready team. Anybody you see wearing this patch, we're ready to serve. That's what it's all about. We're coming to serve. We're going to serve in 3 critical areas. 3 critical areas. AI workflow, and you'll hear from Ashaela at the end. She's going to talk to you about the importance of AI and integrate it into your businesses. 2 is the digital economy. We need to help you unlock international currency. So everybody talks about crypto, stable coins, all these different things. We want to make sure you have access to it, because the world is coming. It's different than the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is amazing, but everybody's got the same money. Okay, I need y'all to understand that. When people say it's 8, no, this is equivalent to 8 Super Bowls. Not quite. Because I need y'all to understand the Super Bowl on TV has 110 million viewers. That was as best it's ever done. One World Cup match, 2022, the final was 1.5 billion. Total interaction with that World Cup was 5 billion people. So I want y'all to understand, this is not the Super Bowl. All right? This is the world's largest event coming to play in your neighborhood. So if it's in your neighborhood, how do you win? Well, that's what we put together as a strategy. You can register on the site, get an assessment, and we're trying to really help as many businesses as possible. We set a goal for 2,000, but of course, this is Atlanta. We can go beyond that. But that means, like I said, it's the main thing is AI workflow. You got to learn how to leverage AI. In the Northwest Business Association, we have businesses that have learned how to use AI. Our businesses have transformed just from using Claude and what we call the growth wheel. We were able to actually marry the two. So now that if you use AI, it's actually like that employee. I tell them that's $20 a month is the cheapest employee you can hire right now. Because it gives you research regularly about your business. And if you're in a surviving community, like Grove Park is, it's a surviving community. Time is your limited thing, right? Time is. So that's what AI is bringing us. But it's not that AI works for us in a way that it does work instead of us. It's really our true employee. We put AI to work. That's what we're teaching. And so that's what you'll learn more about our workflow and how we put that together. I'm really honored to work with Gavin on this because we started at the YMCA. I mean, not the YMCA, at the YMCA, the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA, when we had a vision of how we can change community, and then coming to Grove Park, we've been able to make this come together. So that's the frame of it. I do want to honor some real businesses because our whole goal on this is to put businesses on. And so I want to show you some businesses that are actually doing the work. Carla, I know you were here. Carla, if you can stand up. Carla has a business. She has some reversible socks. We're making commemorative World Cup socks with her. So give Carla a shout out. All right, we have Cartha Bonner. Cartha, please stand up. So Cartha's gone through our work with the Northwest Business Association. She started out, she's a stager, commercial mover, all those kind of different things. Now she has contracts with NCR and things like that. She's definitely World Cup ready. And then we have Relly's Hospitality. He's back here somewhere. So if you haven't seen his mixologist of the year, he is ready to scale his business. He's come through Northwest Business Association as well. We have the Billy Red. Stand up. Billy Red. So this is Janae Mitchell. Billy Red is going to be like famous. And what I mean by that is it's a party on the go. So it's this big red, I don't know, caboose of at the end that she parks and the party just pops out. And so that's going to be the mobile party for the World Cup. We're getting her ready. We have Samantha. She's a caterer. Stand on up, Samantha. We're working with Samantha to get her World Cup ready. And then we have some partners in the building. And I want y'all to pay attention to this partner strategically. We have Alvin Merrifield. Please stand up, Alvin. Now, our digital hospitality, when we talk about our digital economy, unlocking POS machines and all this kind of that real work, Alvin has contributed tremendous work in the fintech space, and we're helping him launch his whole digital ecosystem with data centers and everything. I mean, I'm telling you, it's an incredible piece of software. It won Dubai Best Device because it's the first POS machine that pays you money. So everybody need to get to know Alvin. All right, and we have Quick Carry. Quick. So everybody knows Uber and Lyft. Well, we know Quick. Quick has a rideshare service, and he can even onboard e-mobility bikes as well as golf carts. So he will be one of our World Cup ready participants as well. So we got a strategic partner there. All right, and then one more. We have Sai. Sai, please stand up.
Sai.
All right. So Sai is a photographer as well as a professional makeup artist. But of course, during the World Cup, that sounds like face paint and memorializing the moment. And so we're helping her get contracts already with hotels to make sure she's providing incredible hospitality service. And so this is just an example. And we have even Steve Allen in the back. He's a muralist, an artist. Go, stand on up, Steve. He's a muralist, an artist. He has Olympic work in so many of the national museums that we want to commission even World Cup work to memorialize this moment. But the main point in this is that it's our job. What Atlanta did best, what makes Atlanta Atlanta, in my opinion, it institutionalized putting people on. We institutionalized it. It wasn't just opening a door. When you see what Maynard Jackson was able to do, then Andrew Young and those that have come after, we institutionalized that. Just as much as we are known as the birthplace of peace, we're also known for opportunity. But if we don't capitalize on this opportunity, 30 years down the road, your kids and grandkids gonna ask you, when that incredible World Cup came to Atlanta, did you have an opportunity to be World Cup ready? And I know the answer is gonna be yes. So let's get it done.
So, as you hear the conversation, those are actual businesses in Grove Park on the west side, and that's just a microcosm of the macro. And once again, we're not looking at the World Cup as a savior. It's a movement and a momentum to get the house ready. So when the Super Bowl comes, the Final Four comes, and also when we're looking at the work, we're also looking at our cousins and our neighbors, whether it's the Essence Festival in New Orleans or the Jazz Fest in Detroit, making sure that areas that normally didn't get the opportunity will get the opportunity. So we have a few more minutes, but we got to talk to the youngest in charge,
right.
Miss Ashaela Brown, and tell us a little bit about your business and how we're integrating technology and how we can integrate technology in this work.
Absolutely. So I am an Atlanta native, born and raised here in Atlanta, Grady baby. I literally spent my whole life here seeing everyday businesses, brick and mortar shops, stay in the same place. I'm like, why can't these small businesses be like the big enterprise companies or grow large employee bases and be able to actually hone in on the place that they were built for? And so my thing is, hey, how can we help businesses grow faster using this technology? And I started teaching businesses how to actually capitalize on this technology, grow faster without having to extend their resources. And so that's kind of how CREAIT was born. It's like, how do you actually take your operations that you usually do in a manual way and automate it so that you can grow faster and then serve more people? At the end of the day, that's why a lot of us get in business, is to solve problems. And so that's kind of how CREAIT was born. And what we're doing is, number one, educating people on how to use AI and understanding the different areas that it impacts. So around lead generation, operations, scaling, and making sure you have insights into your business. And then for the World Cup, we are preparing businesses to offer their services and their products in a global audience. So global audiences typically don't speak the same language that we speak here in America. And I mean slang. We have different types of ways we talk. We have North Atlanta, South Atlanta. It's a lot going on here. So technology allows you to translate your message, no matter who you are, to anyone, meaning it can speak in all different languages. Along with that, if you need to train on more staff members, that's where technology can help with that. It's like, hey, can I get 10 more employees and make sure they're trained up and ready to help provide retail services to all the people that are coming here in the US? So that's the main part of making sure businesses understand how to utilize this technology and have the infrastructure to do so.
One of the things that we look at with this work as well is, when we talked about it earlier, that dreamer, that person that's at the beginning stage all the way to, great people like Carter that has, contracts with NCR, but we wanted the movement to be accessible to all. So, if you're at that beginning stage, that's what we're here for. And we're not miracle workers and not saviors, but we'll be working with a lot of different partners, Showcase Atlanta with the city, was talking to Rob earlier with the Beltline team, et cetera. And so, we talk about just how do we collaborate for us all to come together and win. But to make sure, I asked the question, if you woke up today with that great idea, where do you go? And I want our work to be that, where it's elimination of barriers, elimination of lack of whatever it is, and how can we come together to help those people to continue in the business realm and entrepreneurs to continue to dream. So, Ashaela, I had another question for you. As it relates to our youth and as it relates to the work done for youth to access this opportunity, what are some things that we're looking at overall in the community, but also some things that you could share in that arena?
Absolutely. So I'm in my 20s. When I was graduating college, I was working as an engineer at CNN, and in the IT department, managing all those big content systems. This was my early career stages. And so when the pandemic happened, during that time, the company completely went remote. All of the senior engineers essentially weren't next to me anymore, where I could ask questions, understand how do I become a better engineer, things like that. And so AI allows for that youth to tap into senior level knowledge so that they can understand how to operate in your business faster. So you guys as business owners, the youth are craving knowledge. They just don't know how to access you. They don't know how to communicate with you. They don't know how to get the opportunity with you. They don't know how to position their resumes. And so that is one thing we want to bring to the youth, is making sure they understand how to use technology so that they can upskill themselves and be able to serve you guys and build the tools and the skills that small businesses need so that your company grows. But along with that, you are training youth on how to actually be skillful here in Atlanta, instead of, some of the other things that the kids out here are using AI for. So essentially, it's really impactful if the youth start getting more engaged with you guys as business owners, and you guys are able to obviously train them, not just on a one-on-one basis, but be able to train thousands of youth at one time on your business.
So we have 8 minutes for questions, and I want to be invited back to moderate. So but once again, the team and everyone will be available for any questions, insights, or things to share. So we'll take questions.
Gavin, we can ask 3 questions.
Okay. Y'all already know I just got the mandate. So.
Oh, you there? How are they doing it?
No.
They're bringing it on.
Mike.
First, I want to say thank you all for just showing up. Clearly, we need it. So I appreciate you all for showing up and creating this. My name is Jay Tig of Anime Trap Cafe. We sell alkaline teas and sea moss smoothies. But mainly what we do now is we're a digital company. So we do delivery and we do pickup. Occasionally we do pop-ups at run clubs, stuff like that. But my question is, I heard there were some caterers, other people like, I guess a bartender. How do we get activated in all of this, because we don't have brick and mortars?
Yeah, so the simple thing is our team here, they all represent several different sectors, whether hospitality, events, any type of digital technology engagement, as well as what side of town. You saw the 6 zones and one center. We want to activate the whole city. So our team represents that. So we already have an event curating model, but then as well as the simplest part, just register on the site and we're going to contact you and put you in a group of people that are actually doing what you're doing. You know, so we want to make sure it's easy and leverageable. All right.
Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well today. I'm MT Strickland, co-founder of a company called MetricMate. We're a performance intelligence platform geared primarily towards soccer. With that being said, I've heard a lot about brick and mortar, and I'm gonna piggyback off of your question, good sir. We're in the digital space. We are prepared to be able to scale at mass continually, and that's what we do at MetricMate. How do companies that aren't necessarily in a traditional brick and mortar retail selling directly to a consumer in that kind of physical fashion get engaged with World Cup Ready and make sure that we're World Cup ready so that we can go international once the World Cup leaves Atlanta?
Yeah, just get registered. Once you take the assessment on the site, you get an AI score on your readiness. And then like I said, the same that I said here, we're aggregating, our whole goal is to make sure that y'all know each other. It's a community. This is a community win. But there's so many of you doing similar things that we can actually pull you together and we can leverage that to do very well. But I definitely know you, MT, so it's like, let's make something happen. Next.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
I'm feeling some kind of way about Grove Park, World Cup ready. I live in Vine City.
Okay.
Which will be directly impacted with this World Cup. So my question is, have you all reached out to anyone in Vine City? Or NPU-L? Because you keep saying NPU-K. I have someone in this room right now that's ready to get to work, be put to work, make some money. So my question, have you all reached out? How do we, as the impacted community of Vine City and English Avenue, get to the table? Grove Park is not across the street. Grove Park is down the road. So Vine City, I'm feeling some kind of way, and I do apologize. People in this room that know me, I'm passionate for my neighborhood of Vine City. How can you leave us out?
You're not left out. Hold on. That's great, Klaus. You're not left out. That's why we're here. So we work with John, talking to, and that's why we're here to launch, to make sure that you get access. So to your point, you know, that's why you saw the different zones, and that's why we're here, to spread the word, to see how we can help. So English Avenue, Vine City is never left out. And especially as a graduate of Morehouse, for me personally, I could never leave English Avenue out. It's home. Did you register? Are you on the QR code? Because you're here. You're part of it. Now, but I'll talk to you. I can talk to you after if it's anyone we need to add.
Let me add to that. This work started as Grove Park Ready, and then we went to the Mayor's Economic Summit and did an economic panel, and then from there it turned into World Cup Ready, because we realized that there was more of a need than just because we look at Grove Park as how can we make this opportunity work for Grove Park? The cars go by there so fast. How do we turn it into an economic opportunity? And so this is our attempt to open it up to the city to make sure there are no communities left behind.
I want to comment on that too. So we do have virtual classes available to everyone so that they can learn how to implement these technologies in their business, understand how to be World Cup ready, how to create your World Cup offering, how to make sure you provide lead generation from a global audience. And so that's kind of why we built these initiatives, is to be accessible to everyone. But then along with that, we have a directory for you guys to register your business on the website. So if you go to worldcupready.com, register your business in the directory, now that's a point where your business can be marketed to a global audience. Anyone coming across the World Cup Ready page will be able to see you listed on our site. Along with that, we're building something special for you guys. It'll be a passport that we are looking to give out to all of our visitors here once they get here, and it will direct them to the different businesses in our cities. So we would love to have your business listed in there so that you guys get that opportunity to get some of that global traffic. Yep.
Can I ask one more question? The digital age needed in preparing the next generation. However, during the Olympics, there were a lot of businesses that prepared themselves to take advantage of the Olympics. And ACOG and others, after the bombing tragedy, they cut off all these businesses that had prepared and did mortgages. All what they did was shut off. How do you plan to prevent the footprint changing in such a way that only the zone around the stadium, stadiums get affected and everything outlying is not even affected? Most people are preparing for it, but you know, you get ready for the dance, but then the door shuts and you never get inside the dance. So how do you plan to avoid what happened during the Olympics to the minority businesses?
Yeah. So as an economic developer, that's my thought process. The reason why we're leveraging the digital economy and we're leveraging digital hospitality is for that exact reason. It's because the economy now is all around you. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has access. Now, not all businesses have effective websites, so that's something we want to address. But we want to make sure that whatever the business offers, its products or services, that they're all registered in the digital space properly so that that business continues beyond the World Cup. So that's the whole point of this, is to make sure that we are all leveraging the digital economy in a very effective way.
So thank you, guys. I got the wrap-up button and the Grammy music in my ear. Thank you, guys. We'll be here for any questions or anything you need. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's give them one more round of applause. Ashaela, Charis, Derrick, and our wonderful moderator, Gavin. We just thank them for their remarks today. I think there were some incredible pop-outs from that conversation. Specifically, I love the phrasing of institutionalizing putting people on. That's such an Atlanta phrasing that I think really resonates. I think that's awesome. It makes me think about, hold on, y'all. It makes me think about Outkast when they said the South's got something to say. Well, I think in 2026 with the FIFA World Cup, the Atlanta has something to say. So let's keep that motivation going. I want to next call up my colleague, Tamika, to help me do the drawing. We've got two drawings, as I said, the Home Depot gift card, and then also the Goodwill of North Georgia giving another Home Depot, a Goodwill card. So first, the Home Depot gift card that we're going to give away. I'm going to read off this number, so pull out your raffle tickets. Let's see who won this gift card. I've got 419-374. 0431 0431 212 0431. You got him? Up. Awesome. Yes.